makahahadlang, walang maiiwan. Sama-samang lilipad, kamtin ang pangarap. Sa hamong kinakaharap, patuloy na aangat. Edukasyon para sa lahat, sulong edukanidad. Ito ang Masinlok School on the Air at mapakikinggan sa Serbisyong Putog Radio, DWSP 101.5 News FM.
A blessed day to all of us Masinlok Sambales. Good day to our dear learners of grade 7. And you are listening to Serbisyong Putog DWSP 101.5 News FM. Let's keep listening because in the short time of our discussion, I am sure that you will learn a lot. This is your on-air teacher, Sir Carlo E. Mateo from Bamban National High School. Before we start the lesson, I would like to acknowledge the Department of Education, Schools Division of City of Mecawain, Bulacan, especially to the writer, Ms. Janice Icaindong, for providing us the module. Prepare your notebook and pen to take down notes all the important ideas from the lesson. Make sure that you are in a comfortable place where you can listen and study properly. Welcome to Technology and Livelihood Education Grade 7 Bread and Pastry Production, an exploratory course. After going through this module, you are expected to identify workplace hazards and risks in working area. Deeply understand hazards and risks and their corresponding indicators, and follow contingency measures to be recognized and established in accordance with workplace policies. There are lots of things that may affect the health of a person, such as environment, his lifestyle, etc. It can influence health in a positive or in a negative way. Are you comfortable at work? How safe is your workplace? Do you think that you are giving all you have for your work, but it seems that it never is enough? These are just some of the questions that you need to ask in order to assess whether your workplace is healthy or not. A place that is safe, healthy, and work conducive entails more productivity. In fact, with a healthy workplace, you will be doing more work with less effort. Hazards and risks in the workplace. Hazard is a term used to describe something that has the potential to cause harm or adverse effects to individuals, organizations, property, or equipment. There are types of workplace hazards. This includes safety hazards, biological hazards, chemical hazards, ergonomic hazards, physical hazards, and psychological hazards. First is we have the safety hazards. It is an inadequate and insufficient machine guards, unsafe workplace conditions, unsafe work practices. While biological hazards, it is caused by organisms such as viruses, bacteria, fungi, and parasites. Chemical hazards, these are the solid, liquid vapor, or gaseous substances, dust, fume, or mist. And ergonomic hazards are the anatomical, physiological, and psychological demands on the worker, such as repetitive and forceful movements, vibration, extreme temperatures, and awkward postures arising from improper work methods, and improperly designed workstations, tools, and equipment. Physical hazards such as noise, vibration, energy, weather, electricity, radiation, and pressure. And lastly is the psychological hazards. This affects mental health or mental well-being of the worker by overwhelming individual coping mechanism and impacting the worker's ability to work in a healthy and safe manner. What are the examples of hazards? So we have workplace hazard. These are the samples of workplace hazard. For a thing, the example of hazard is knife, and the example of harm caused by a knife is cut. Another is the substance. The example of hazard is benzene, and the example of harm caused by a benzene is leukemia. Leukemia is a kind of cancer. According to Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, leukemia begins in a cell in the bone marrow. The cell undergoes a change and becomes a type of leukemia cell. Once the marrow cell undergoes a leukemic change, the leukemia cells may grow and survive better than normal cells. Another workplace hazard is material. Example of hazard is the asbestos. Example of harm caused by asbestos is mesothelioma. Mesothelioma is a malignant tumor that is caused by inhaled asbestos fibers and forms in the lining of the lungs, abdomen, or heart. Symptoms can include shortness of breath and chest pain. The life expectancy for most mesothelioma patients is approximately 12 months after diagnosis. Another workplace hazard is the source of energy. Example of hazard, electricity. An example of harm caused by electricity are shock and electrocution. Another condition is wet floor. Example of harm caused by wet floor are slips and falls. Another workplace hazard is process. Example of hazard is welding. Example of harm caused by a welding is the metal fume fever. According to TWI, a metal fume fever is a condition in which the sufferer has influenza-type symptoms, a raised temperature, chills, aches and pains, nausea, and dizziness. It is caused by exposure to the fume of certain metals commonly seen. And last workplace hazard is the practice. Example of hazard, hard rock mining. An example of harm caused by hard rock mining is silicosis. From webmd.com, silicosis is a lung disease. It usually happens in jobs where you breathe in dust that contains silica. That's a tiny crystal found in sand, rock, or mineral ores like quartz. What is risk? Risk is the chance or probability that a person will be harmed or experience an adverse health effect caused by a hazard. It may also apply to situations with property or equipment loss. For example, the risk of developing cancer from smoking cigarettes could be expressed as cigarette smokers are more likely to die of lung cancer than non-smokers. Factors that influence the degree of risk include how much a person is exposed to a hazardous thing or condition, and how the person is exposed. Example, breathing in a vapor, skin contact, and how severe are the effects under the conditions of exposure. Risk assessment. Risk assessment is the process where you identify hazards, analyze or evaluate the risk associated with that hazard, and determine appropriate ways to eliminate or control the hazard. What are the safety measures or actions to be employed after risk assessment? Okay, under hazards, we have manual handling of hand tools, knives, secateurs, loopers, crowbars, weed bags, and mattocks. The risks are back injury, repetitive strain. The safety measures and actions to be done: teach and remind workers of correct lifting and carrying techniques, then rotate tasks. Another hazard is lifting heavy objects incorrectly. Risks from lifting the objects incorrectly are back injury, repetitive strain. Safety measures: teach and remind workers of correct lifting technique, then rotate tasks. Again, under hazards is the repetitive movements, bending and awkward working positions. Risk is back limb injury, repetitive strain, and the safety measures to be done: teach and remind workers of correct lifting technique and rotate tasks. Last hazard is the trip hazards. Risk from trip hazards is injury. Safety measures: warn volunteers and remove trip hazard before commencing work. Do not leave tools on pathways. Watch where one walks and goes slowly. Mark tools with fluorescent color. Let's have a short activity. Identify whether it is a hazard or risk. Back limb injury. Is it a hazard or risk? It is a risk. Manual handling of hand tools, knives, secateurs, loopers, crowbars, weed bags, and mattocks. A hazard or risk? Correct, it is a hazard. Trip. Is it a hazard or risk? Yes, it is risk. Repetitive movements, bending, and awkward working positions. A hazard or a risk? Perfect, it is a hazard. Repetitive strain. A hazard or risk? Correct, it is risk. What is an adverse health effect? A general definition of adverse health effect is any change in body function or the structures of cells that can lead to disease or health problems. The following are adverse health effects: bodily injury such as cuts, abrasions, bruises, burns, and lacerations. Disease such as infectious diseases, deficiency diseases, hereditary diseases, and physiological diseases. Change in the way the body functions, grows, or develops. Effects on the developing fetus, teratogenic effects, or the phytotoxic effects. Effects on children, grandchildren, etc. These are the inheritable genetic effects. Decrease in lifespan solvents. It refers to the mechanisms of aging or the age-related disease. Effects on the ability to accommodate additional stress. Control hazards and risks in the workplace. Use caution when working around hot oil. Get trained in the proper use and maintenance of your deep fryer. Observe all safety procedures and wear all protective equipment provided for your use while preparing hot items. Use gloves and scrapers and other cleaning tools with handles provided by your employer. Use the correct grease level and cooking temperatures for your deep fryer. Keep stove surfaces clean to prevent grease flare-ups. Avoid reaching over or climbing on top of fryers and other hot surfaces. Clean vents when oil is cool. Keep floor surfaces clean and dry to prevent slipping or falling onto hot surfaces. Wear slip-resistant shoes. Floors should be cleaned often with grease-cutting solutions. Do not work closely to hot fryers when the floor is wet. Do not spill water or ice into oil. Do not store inflow drinks by deep fryers. They could be easily pumped into the hot oil and cause a flare-up. Do not overfill or pour excessive amounts of frozen fries into deep fryer at one time. Overfilling causes excessive splashing and bubbling over of hot oil. Do not pour excess ice from fry packages into the fryer. Do not overheat the oil. Use only manufacturer's recommended cooking temperatures. Do not move or strain hot oil containers. Wait until the oil is cool. Do not store oil on floors by grill area. Someone could slip and fall into the oil. Extinguish hot oil, grease fires by using a Class K fire extinguisher. Before we proceed to our next topic, let's do self-check if you are learning from our discussion. Answer these questions. It is a chance or the probability that a person will be harmed. Is it a risk or vapor? Correct, the answer is risk. It is a source of potential damage, harm, or adverse health effects. Oxygen or hazard? Perfect, it is hazard. It is a vapor or gaseous substance. Is it adverse health effect or chemical hazard? The correct answer is chemical hazard. It is caused by organisms such as viruses, bacteria, fungi, and parasites. Is it biological hazard or psychological hazard? The answer is biological hazard. It is an awkward posture arising from improper work methods. A trip hazard or ergonomic hazard? The answer is ergonomic hazard. Those that are basically causing stress, is it hazard or workplace? Perfect, it is hazard. Now we move on. The OSH indicators or the occupational safety and health. The occupational safety and health is a cross-disciplinary area concerned with protecting the safety, health, and welfare of people engaged in work or employment. The goal of all occupational safety and health programs is to foster a safe work environment. As a secondary effect, it may also protect co-workers, family members, employers, customers, suppliers, nearby communities, and other members of the public who are impacted by the workplace environment. Management commitment. There is commitment in achieving high standards of OSH performance through safety management. Number 1 is the employer identifies his general responsibilities regarding occupational safety and health laws so that they can provide anything necessary for the OSH program. Number 2, everyone in the organization understands the general requirements of occupational safety and health laws. Providing seminars and trainings are necessary so that everyone understands the requirements of OSH law. Number 3, the employer is actively involved in OSH management. Everybody's safety is prioritized. No one is left behind. Number 4, a competent person in the organization coordinates safety management activities. This is to update the employer about the condition or situation in the workplace so that the employer can address the issue if there is. Number 5, there is occupational safety and health policy that is up to date. An up-to-date policy is a requirement for efficient action concerning the safety and health of everyone in the workplace. Number 6, everyone in the organization knows about occupational safety and health policy. This will help everyone about what they will do during emergency in the workplace, where they need to go, who are the persons they need to talk or submit reports regarding the safety and health emergency situation, and most importantly, let themselves know how to avoid hazards and how to respond to it properly. Number 7, adequate resources are provided for all aspects of OSH management. There are different things necessary for different safety and health conditions, such as medical supplies, services, materials, tools, and equipment that the employer should provide. Number 8, all employees have sufficient time to carry out specific tasks related to occupational safety and health. Employees should not be forced to work in pressure. The scheduling of work and identifying the kind of task fit to them is necessary to achieve the occupational safety and health law. Number 9, all employees are accountable for safety and health in their area of responsibility. Everyone should work accordingly, following the safety and health law. Now let us do the true or false activity. The employer identifies his general responsibilities regarding occupational safety and health laws. Is it true or false? The answer is true. There is no need for a competent person in the organization to coordinate about safety management activities. True or false? The answer is false. There are few employees that are accountable for safety and health in their area of responsibility. Is it true or false? The answer is false. The entire organization should know the occupational safety and health policy. True or false? The answer is true. All employees have sufficient time to carry out specific tasks related to occupational safety and health. True or false? The answer is true. And now we will proceed to safety signs. Safety signs are the alert signs that help in indicating various hazards ahead. These labels help in reducing accidents at workplace and on roadside. It is a process of providing information or instructions by means of placing required signboards. Different types of hazards require different types of safety labels. There are several safety labels available in the market. All that is needed is to figure out that right label as per requirement. Safety signs consist of words, messages, and a pictorial symbol with variety of shapes, size, and colors. Each label color is standardized and reflects a specific meaning. Sign colors defined. The red color reflects immediate hazardous situations that will cause death or other serious injuries like danger signs and fire symbols. While orange color represents a potentially unsafe situation that could cause serious injury and indicated by warning signs. The yellow color used to alert against unsafe practices, which if not avoided, results in minor or moderate injuries like caution signs. The green color indicates the emergency egress location, first aids, and other safety equipment. And blue color is used to convey safety and formation. Now let's have a short activity. Identify the word or group of words being described or defined. Number 1. This consists of words or messages and a pictorial symbol which reflects a specific meaning. A. Safety signs and symbols. Or B. Colors and sound. The answer is safety signs and symbols. Number 2. Used to alert against unsafe practices, which if not avoided may result in minor or moderate injuries like caution signs. Is it A, the green color, or B, the yellow color? And the answer is B, the yellow color. Number 3 is a cross-disciplinary area concerned with protecting the safety, health, and welfare of people engaged in work or employment. Is it A, risk assessment, B, occupational safety and health? And the answer is letter B, occupational safety and health. Number 4. What is the goal of all safety and health programs? A, to foster a safe work environment, or B, to provide financial support for the workers? The answer is letter A, to foster a safe work environment. Number 5. It reflects immediate hazardous situations that will cause death or other serious injuries like danger signs and fire symbols. Is it A, blue color, or B, the red color? The answer is the red color. Remember that hazard is a term used to describe something that has the potential to cause harm or adverse effects to individuals, organizations, property, or equipment. The types of workplace hazards are safety hazards, biological hazards, chemical hazards, ergonomic hazards, physical hazards, and psychological hazards. The factors that influence the degree of risk include how much a person exposed to a hazardous thing or condition and how the person is exposed. Example, they're breathing in a vapor, skin contact, and how severe are the effects under the conditions of exposure. Risk assessment is the process where you identify hazards, analyze or evaluate the risk associated with the hazard, and determine appropriate ways to eliminate or control the hazard. What is an adverse health effect? A general definition of adverse health effect is any change in body function or the structures of cells that can lead to disease or health problem. The following are adverse health effects: bodily injury, disease, change in the way the body functions, grows or develops, effects on the developing fetus, effects on children, grandchildren, etc., decrease in lifespan solvents, effects on the ability to accommodate additional stress. Occupational safety and health, or the OSH, is a cross-disciplinary area concerned with protecting the safety, health, and welfare of people engaged in work or employment. The goal of all occupational safety and health programs is to foster a safe work environment. Safety signs are the alert signs that help in indicating various hazards ahead. These labels help in reducing accidents at workplace and on roadside. Sign colors are red, orange, yellow, green, and blue. And that's all for now, dear learners. To our dear parents and guardians, thank you for your continuous providing support and help to our beloved learners. We are open for your questions regarding on our lessons. Just send a message to us through our cell phone numbers and class group chat. Once again, this is Carlo and Mateo, your virtual teacher from Bamban National High School. God bless us all and thank you.